writers, hello entrepreneurs. Welcome back to your Monday Morning Jumpstart with our number one coach, Ted Capshaw. Coach Ted.
Ghosted, ghosted.
Okay, Ted, so we've covered in the series imposter syndrome. We covered like ending strong and starting strong, and we had some members ask us to talk about, that they've bought like a course or they've taken a certification and they've just haven't had the determination, I guess would be the truth, to finish it and to see it across the finish line. I'm not sure if you have
Hmm.
any advice for people that are experiencing that, going through that. Yeah,
The determination, that's a big one.
there's a big one.
Is that how people position it? Like we don't have the determination, or
No,
is
they
that, or those
didn't.
are words you're putting,
I'm
that's the
putting
words you're
I'm
putting
putting
on it.
those words to it
Okay.
because it's the only thing that I can think of for not doing it, unless you can think of other reasons for like for putting it. I mean, look, it's not a cheap thing, right, to buy a course and then to have that and to have the ability to do it. Maybe it's also harder when you can do it whenever, but then to not finish it off. um and there was no reasons that I was given for inability to do it. You know what I mean?
Other than mental and emotional reasons,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So we can talk a little bit about that. I take this one pretty seriously because I would say that what we're bumping up against is levels and sometimes very deep levels of regret.
Mm,
And regret is just an awful feeling, whether it comes now or whether it comes later in life, or something happens in our life that kind of slams us, and then we go, woulda, shoulda, coulda. And I should have done that, or I should have seen that through. And I wish, and for some of you writers, all of a sudden you stumble across somebody that is writing your idea.
mm,
And guess what? They're selling like pie. And you're going, I was going to write that. That I had that idea. I mean, how many times has that happened to you?
yeah,
Or me
yeah.
or to whatever. But I think the thing that I want you to run from instead of, because sometimes it's like we're trying to push you to or run to something, like in other words, run to the outcome, chase the outcome. In this instance, very often I would coach somebody and I'd scare them a little bit. I'd want you to run from regret because
Yeah.
regret is something that can throw you into a mental and emotional tailspin, really at any part of life. But I will say, when you get later on in life, right, it's studied. The idea of what you think about when you get later in life is studied. The five regrets of the dying, there's books written about this
Mhm.
thing. And so I really do think what we're positioned to talk about today is regret.
Yeah.
And I just simply don't want you to regret. And so if that can't push you and give you determination, like why would you? Number one. And two, who are you trying to prove this to, or who are you trying to be the example to?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like one of the things that I say, like if I can't see something through, I can't ask other people to do. I'd be a hypocrite,
Yeah.
you know? So, and even the proving thing too. So this is a big one for me,
Yeah.
right? And this is where, if people were being coached by me, they probably see my head turn and they probably see a different side of me, because, and I'd have to remind them because I'm usually very speak just like I do now.
Straightforward. Yeah.
Um, well, in this tone, Jade, I speak in this tone, and there are times when I kind of flip the script and I have to lead with reminding people that I'm coming from a place of love,
Mm-hmm.
and then I may call a little BS.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you buy the course in the first place? Like we can talk about the mental, emotional of why you didn't see this through, but let's go back 2 sessions ago that we talked about the imposter syndrome. Let's have a real conversation about that. How much of it is based in evidence or fact? Okay, 10% of it, not much of it. Well, right now, the only common denominator on why you haven't seen this thing through, it's you. And so I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth. We've already talked about the practical steps. You've made choices not to take them.
Yes.
We've worked through the emotional. We've been empathetic to the emotional side of it.
Yeah.
And now it really is nothing else to do, just as we said 2 sessions ago, but you have to take action and see it through.
Yeah.
It's no more we no longer can be a willing. And so sometimes as partners to each other, even at AWAI, it's kind of like you get what you allow type
Yes.
behavior. And if I allow you not to see this through, if you allow yourself not to see this through, it's exactly what you're going to get.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, you're never going to see your way all the way through the finish line, like we talked about on the last episode.
Yeah. Well, I feel like to your background set you up to be a very disciplined person. Would that be a correct assumption to make?
No. Yeah,
No?
I'm not
Oh,
going to go
really?
deep into it. No, I grew up. Well, here's the thing.
Oh,
When we
sorry,
say, when you
not
say,
that child. I meant sorry. Is it Navy? You were part of the Navy, right? Was it?
well, only for a year, I went to the Naval Academy,
Okay, 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 yeah, yeah, okay.
and wasn't disciplined enough for that.
Oh,
But,
really? Okay. Because I
well,
when I see you, I see a disciplined person. And what I was going to say is, and maybe you can talk to this. I do feel like being an entrepreneur requires a level of discipline, right? Because I think a lot of people like,
100%.
yeah, right? Like think about this. Like a lot of people like taking the course, and I'm making assumptions now, are in like a W-2, like somebody's telling you what to do all day job, right? And
Yes.
now here is this thing where only me telling me to do it is going to get it done. There's nobody holding anything to me for this to get done. But at the same time, on the other side of that fence, to be successful as an entrepreneur, you're going to need that same level of discipline to get the job done, to keep marketing yourself, to keep the clients. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So that's where I was going to with asking you the question, and maybe you can speak to how you got to be disciplined
Yeah.
and how it shows up.
I appreciate it. And a lot of it's just deep, though, Jay, just to be fair. When you said you were disciplined, it struck me. I did not come from a disciplined home. I had five kids at home. I was actually more often, I was the middle kid. I was in the shadows
Mm,
of things, you
wow.
know. But here's what I'll tell you. Similar to what we've talked about in the last couple weeks here, I have a mentality. I can't lose.
Mm,
I can't lose. And by the way, the topic that we talked about a couple weeks ago, I can't afford to be an imposter syndrome. I can't afford to live in that. And so what that means for me is the whole stay true thing is I have to be the person I'm out there trying to promote in the world. And so I'm very disciplined in wellness. I'm very disciplined in the things that I coach on. And I have to be, you know.
yeah.
And so I do think that, but I also know what's at risk if I don't. Like
Yes.
I take, just to tie a couple things in a knot, I take that thing about dying very seriously. I do.
Yeah.
Because I lost my dad 28 years ago and I know the impact of death. And I have two kids and a wife and people like you in my life and clients that I care deeply about. And I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time. I'm not going to go back and go, I should have done this. So I would encourage you to take that pretty damn serious.
Yeah. Agree.
And you will take it serious when you lose a loved one or you get diagnosed with something. You'll take it serious then. I'm telling you to take it serious today. And
Mm-hmm.
so you can see the conviction in my voice when I'm saying this. I take it very seriously. I also am out to achieve certain things. And some of that stuff, to your point about discipline, I'm out to prove some people wrong. I
Mm-hmm.
still operate with a chip on my shoulder from my early 20s and 30, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm
Agree.
good with that. It's not an unhealthy
No.
chip on my
Yeah.
shoulder, but I'm out to prove something wrong. I'm also prove something to myself, to my two sons, to my wife, and those things, they're not fluffy. They're very real for me. They are drivers for me. And
Mm,
so you have to look in the mirror, gang. Do you have those type of motivations for yourself? Or are you just kind of like, hey, writing's a passion of mine. I'd like to go make some money out of it and not be able to spend the majority of my time doing this for work. And I'd rather do this. If it's just kind of loosey goosey, I'd rather do this for work and not this and da da da. Like for me, I never want to take another W-2 job. It's like one of my primary goals outside of revenue, anything. I never want to work for
mhm,
somebody again.
mhm, mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I think there's so many, so I think you go back to why you purchased it, right? Like look at that, right? Because maybe that there is the driver there that you need to finish it. And then hopefully the why of that masters up the determination required to finish it. And then the awareness, I think too, that the reflection of what you're doing now is going to show up personally and professionally. Personally, in the lack of regret, which is our goal for you, and then secondly, professionally, because that is how you're going to have to operate your business on the other side of
That's
it,
right.
right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I like that what you're saying about the using the example of purchasing something. I mean, I think you have to ask yourself some really practical. You can see I'm getting a little bit fired up about this, but are you okay wasting your money?
Yeah, literally.
And
Literally.
then on the back end saying I have no money?
Yeah.
You took a course in order to go make money and you didn't put it to use. And now you're commiserating about not having money and not having done anything and no clients and all the rest of it. But you've done nothing with the course that you took 2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the tough love that I mean. When
Yes.
this topic comes up for me, it's a serious one for me
Agree.
because of the woulda, shoulda, coulda, and the regrets of dying. I just think regret is I don't want us to. We're all going to have regrets,
Yeah.
but I want us to minimize them. And this one, quite honestly, should be an easy one. You took a course, do something with it.
Yeah. Or at least finish it. Yeah. Yeah. And I think a very practical way to do that is a time, like, plan it out, right? So we talk about plans all the time. It might sound frivolous, but like literally create a plan for how you can
Amen.
make this happen. Like, is it mean that you have to do an hour less TV, an hour less sleep, an hour less of something? Like, there'll be sacrifice involved to make it done, but the feeling that you'll feel for accomplishing something on the other end will make any sacrifice worth it, and be your own boss of what we were talking about, and create that and define that. I have a friend, she's an entrepreneur, very disciplined. She does like a half a day every week where everything is unplugged and she gets everything done
Amen.
and planned out she needs
That's
to be.
right.
So I
It's brilliant.
that's what I would implore anybody in that position to do, is like, because whenever anybody complains to me and maybe not a great friend, I'm like, what are you going to do about it? You know?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, what? So now we know the problem. We've admitted that this issue exists. Now we come up with a plan for what we're gonna do, to change it, and to Ted's words, to run away from that regret and run towards accomplishment, at least.
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
yeah.
Amen.
Well, Ted, any last words from disciplined entrepreneur living his truth to aspiring entrepreneurs aspiring to live their truth, out there?
Yeah, maybe you and I can go deeper into it when next time we're here is just, the reevaluation of, is what you're after deep enough or big
Mm-hmm.
enough? Or is it just kind of lackadaisical? Hey, even before that, just in this one, run from regret. I'm just going to reiterate what I've already said. And whatever that means for you, however that lands, I want it to land with you however it needs to. Um, and I'm okay if it's jarring a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I like that one a lot, Ted. Well, thank you, Ted. Always so enlightening, and we'll definitely get back to doing these more often. That's my promise that I'm going to put on everyone. It fulfills me, Ted, selfishly as well, I have
Good
to
with it.
say.
I'm good with it. I'm ready to get
Awesome.
back in rhythm. We're good.
Yes, yes. Well, everybody, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for taking it to heart. We appreciate you and what you do. And thank you, Ted. We'll speak to you soon.
Amen. See you
Bye, guys.
guys.